Mass testing for the COVID-19 continues in Likoni in Mombasa County, where residents stand up in large numbers for the Ministry of Health exercise. The county hopes to conduct more testing so as to isolate, treat and also trace all those who've come into contact with positive 19 cases in the region. Our reporter Kevin Mutai has been keeping tabs on the developing story, even as residents of the coastal city seek to resume back to normalcy, and is joining us live for more details. Kevin?
Oh, well, of course, yeah, you are very right, Zainab. Yesterday, what we witnessed in Likoni is the total opposite of what health authorities have been battling in Old Town area. We saw 82 people were tested yesterday for COVID-19 in Likoni, and despite even more than 300 people showing up to participate for the exercise. We even saw Governor Ali Hassan Joho, Vita Member of Parliament Abdul Swamad Sharif, and even Likoni Member of Parliament Mishimboko, County Commissioner Gilbert Kitio were also among members who were tested, who had their samples taken for COVID-19. And this is despite, the efforts by health authorities rallying residents of Old Town to also have the same spirit and participate in the mass screening exercise in Likoni. That particular exercise was launched approximately 6 days ago, but the authorities have been, however, complaining about the numbers in terms of people voluntarily showing up for the exercise. We even had a few of them even openly declining to participate in the process, as some even say that they believe that there's no virus in the area, as well as there's no person who's succumbed to COVID-19, despite the government even confirming that a total of 7 people have died from coronavirus in Old Town alone. And it is an area, according to health authorities, a place that is leading with over 50 confirmed cases for COVID-19. And these figures were reached at after for the last 4 days, approximately more than 200 people have been tested from that particular area, against a target of more than 18,000 residents from Old Town alone. According to the County Commissioner Gilbert Kitio, he reiterated yesterday that there are more measures that are currently being discussed by the county's Emergency Response Committee on COVID-19 here in Mombasa before they forward some of these representations to the national government for consideration. And perhaps we're expecting to see a lot of action happening in Old Town area. And of course also the health authorities, despite even testing 82 members of the public in Likoni, their area of concern is at Shika Adabu. Shika Adabu is where, according to one of the officials I spoke to from the health department here in Mombasa County, they decided to take that particular exercise to that particular area because the Ministry of Health confirmed one person who had tested positive in Likoni. So these are areas that have a huge cluster of people living together, and this is also a worrying issue that the Ministry of Health is raising over the homestead setup, where you find people sharing things. These are informal settlements, so they are worried if at all they do not come rather trace these particular contacts, positive cases in this region, then definitely they expect a lot more cases to be witnessed. And of course also there's another thing, Zainab, is that there are lots of businesses that have taken a hit since the outbreak of COVID-19 here in the region. The hotel industry is reeling big. Some big hotels here in the coast region have closed their businesses, sent their employees away either on leave without pay, or indefinitely suspending their workers from work. This is because there's no one coming into their places to either seek accommodation or even activities. And for some of the small eateries, we are seeing that some are opting to go on with selling foodstuff on takeaway basis because they are unable to meet the guidelines set by the Ministry of Health, which one of them to state is that if one is required to continue with business, then they have to take all their employees to a mandatory 14-day quarantine after being checked. So incurring all those costs is what the business owners are worried about, even the residents. But of course, we've had the leaders saying that they will come forth and even help those who are vulnerable and they cannot be able to pay, or rather meet the costs that at the quarantine. So we'll be covering all that you need to know here in Mombasa and the entire coast region with regards not only to COVID-19 but other happenings that are happening here in the coast. Back to you, Zainab.